There are many factors, I think, that work against a spirit of gratitude, and self-reliance is clearly one of those. The idea that we don't want to accept help from others. We fear becoming dependent upon others. We feel like we must take full responsibility for anything good that happens to us. If we have a success or a victory, we want to say that we did it, we brought it about. I think that's part of human nature, is this self-reliant attitude. But there's also one that works really hard against gratitude, as you say, because with gratitude we have to acknowledge others contributing to our success, and we don't get rewarded for that. At work we get rewarded for our own efforts. Right? Relationally, we want to take credit when things go well. We want to blame the other person when things go poorly. So there's many factors, and that's just one of those that tends to work against gratitude. There's what's known as the negativity bias. That is just the way the brain seems to work. That is, we're much more prone to notice what's going wrong than what's going right. Our minds stick to the negative. One person said our minds are Velcro for the negative, but Teflon for the positive. So positive experiences, they slide off, they wear off. They don't stick as well as the negative. So negative experiences tend to be stronger. We tend to recall more bad things that have happened. Pain is stronger than pleasure, and complaint is stronger than compliment. Dissatisfaction is stronger than delight. It's how the brain just naturally works. And so we have to overcome that. To achieve joy, to achieve sustainable happiness, we need a force which is a counterforce to this negativity bias. And that's why I think gratitude can work. Gratitude can be one of those countervailing forces, because by noticing, amplifying, magnifying the good, this at the same time reduces or dampens down that negativity bias. We don't want to be dependent. It's hard to accept the gift because we feel obligated. We have such a strong desire to immediately address any possible imbalance with respect to debts and obligations and responsibilities. It really becomes a hang-up for people. It's hard to accept a gift. It's much easier to give a gift. Most of us, I know myself included, I'd rather give a gift than receive a gift. Because once I receive a gift, it's like, well, now what do I do? It's how do I pay this back? Immediately we want to eliminate that unpleasant sense of indebtedness. And that can really work against a sense of gratefulness, which stems from being indebted, but in a way that makes you glad or happy. It's like, I'm happy to be indebted to you, and at some point, I will pay you back, I will pay it forward, but I'm okay with that sense of debt. And for a lot of us, it just makes us very uncomfortable. So we have to get more comfortable with receiving the good, taking in the good, noticing the good, before we can really experience all the benefits and blessings of gratefulness. There are myths and misperceptions and just downright, falsehoods about gratefulness. That can be actually get in the way of practicing gratefulness, because people think that if you are grateful, then by definition you are not something else. So it goes something like this. If you are grateful, by definition, you are not active or not purposeful or not trying to seek change in your life or larger change. It's like you're complacent, you're content. And it's actually worse than contentment. It's like passivity or complacency. That gratitude makes you lazy. It makes you not want to do anything. If I'm grateful, I'm not going to change anything because I like the way things are. But that's not what gratitude is. That's what maybe satisfaction is, but that's not gratefulness. So in fact, we find gratefulness actually makes a person want to actually achieve more. They want to expend more effort toward working toward personal goals. It's quite the opposite of lethargy or passivity or complacency. So that's one myth. Another one is that gratitude is incompatible with suffering. That is, gratitude is fine for people when everything is going well, when they're having lots of good things happen to them, they're successful in their work and in their relationships, when they have victories and everything is good, they're free of illness. That's when you're grateful. In fact, you can be grateful even in very difficult circumstances. In the context of adversity, of pain, of suffering, sometimes great gratitude emerges from those experiences. So it's certainly not incompatible with suffering. So those would be two, I think, of the biggest myths surrounding gratefulness.